Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Rink Rookie, a guide to the NHL. I am your co-host, Ashley.
And I'm your other co-host, Arielle. And welcome to our podcast.
Hello again. We are here for more playoff talk.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot. This isn't even covering the last 3 days. This is from Monday the 22nd to, I think it's maybe just Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, it's just Monday and Tuesday, the 22nd and the 23rd. So we're a little bit behind, but I went to a game. Arielle's been busy. Things are happening. So we're a little bit behind, but we're going to try and catch up and go through these. Maybe not quick, but just get through them and kind of chat about our thoughts and feelings. Well, I guess it's been a week. What have you been up to real quick, Arielle?
Watching hockey.
So fair. So
Yeah.
fair. I don't think I've done anything.
I feel like I have done other stuff, but I can't think.
You have.
Have I?
You've done some crafty things, I think. I know you were messing with a Cricut the other day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
helping with an event and doing all that. Yeah, I was on Cricut duty, and then I'm in interior design mode in my house right now. So
Exciting times.
That's what I got going on.
I went to the Oilers versus Kings playoff game 3 Friday. That was crazy. We'll talk about it next episode just because that's when we'll actually talk about that game. But playoff hockey in person is so intense. And then yesterday I went to the Funko store, did some Hollywood stuff, Amoeba Records, went down to Burbank. Yeah, it was good.
Funko, is that where you got your
my Gru Funko?
Yeah,
they had a sports section. The hockey section was pretty small, but they had Gru and Sid and Nate and Kale, and those were the only ones I really cared about, but there were a couple others. Yeah, it was really, that store is insane. If anyone's ever down in Hollywood Boulevard, the Funko store is not only huge, but it's one big photo op building, life-size Funkos, and there's a whole waterfall in there. Yeah, I'd never been in there until yesterday, and it was crazy. Fun times.
That's kind of cool. I know, I was just thinking, I was like, dang, I totally didn't even respond to your Gru
No,
Funko
you're
Pop
so
text.
fine.
But I did see it.
I'd been watching a couple of Funkos on Mercari, resale sites, because I just didn't know where else you get them. I don't know where they come from. And I've been watching a couple Nate and Kale ones, and there they were. And I was like, okay, then I just don't need to watch these anymore. I'll just come drive my butt down to Hollywood Boulevard and go grab them. I don't want to pay markups or whatever, unless they're signed, but that's not really my deal. I don't keep them in the box. They sit on my desk at work. So I'm excited to have a little Gru with me at work now. Okay, so let's get into these playoff games. We're starting Monday, April 22nd, 2024. We're still in the first round. The round 1 just ended today for the New York Rangers. They beat the Capitals in a sweep. We'll talk about that next episode, but this is kind of just where we are right now. So the first game we're going to chat about is the Hurricanes versus the Islanders. If you want to start us out, Arielle.
So Monday, April 22nd, Hurricanes versus Islanders. Freddie Anderson was in net for the Canes. Semyon Varlamov was in net for the Islanders. The first period, Islanders scored 2 goals in the first from Kyle Palmieri and Bo Horvat, and no goals from the Canes. The second period saw another goal for the Islanders from their captain Anders Lee, and the Canes scored their first goal of the night by Teuvo Teravainen. Seth Jarvis started the scoring in the third for the Canes, following with goals from Sebastian Aho, Canes, Sebastian Aho, then Jordan Martinek, and then an empty netter from Jake Gensel to end the game. There were 2 5-minute misconducts for fighting and 8 10-minute misconducts handed out. So 24 penalties overall, 16 for the Islanders, 8 for the Canes. The shots on goal for the New York Islanders was 12, Carolina 39. The final score was 5-3, Canes winning. That was insane. Because I think when the Islanders were winning, I was like, there's no way they're winning right now. I mean, good for them, but I was also kind of surprised. But then when they came back, and I was like, this
feels right.
Yeah, unfortunately for them. But also, the Islanders, they got to stay out of that box. Anyway.
Yeah.
So the 3 stars of that game, the first star was Jordan Martinek. The second star is Jarvis. Third, the Canes, Sebastian Aho.
We got to be specific because there are 2 in case you didn't know. Up next, we've got the Leafs versus the Bruins. So first game they played each other, they had Jeremy Swayman in net, and this time they went with Linus Ullmark for the Bruins, and Ilya Samsonov was in net for the Leafs. Nylander is still out with an undisclosed injury at the time of this game. Morgan Geekie opened up scoring in the first for the Bruins, netting 1, and then Max Domi followed that for the Leafs, and David Pastrnak scored in the second for the Bruins. The only goal in the second period came from John Tavares for the Leafs, and Austin Austin Matthews for the Leafs was the only goal in the third. So this is the game that was happening while we were recording the last episode, because I think if you hear the last like couple minutes, I gasp and say the Leafs beat the Bruins.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So Toronto saw 5 penalties and Boston also saw 5. The shots on goal, Boston was 29 and Toronto 33. The final score was 3-2, Leafs won. The 3 stars of the game were Austin Matthews, Ilya Samsonov, and the third was David Pastrnak. I watched a little bit of the game as it was going because we were recording. It felt like an even game, and I feel like that's not always the case with the Leafs and Bruins. I feel like you kind of always have one or the other, but this felt pretty even, and usually when I say one or the other, it means the Bruins are doing better. Yeah, I don't really have many thoughts about this game. I feel like the Leafs winning in general against them. I don't know if I had them in a sweep in all of my brackets. I might have had the Bruins losing one, which I guess has happened so far right now.
Yeah, I think I also have the Bruins losing one. So it's like the next game goes, I guess.
For sure. And then these are the first games in these series that we're going to talk about, the Stars and Golden Knights and the Oilers Kings. Right? Yeah, these are their first games against each other.
This game stressed me out. So Logan Thompson was in net for the Golden Knights. Jake Ottinger was in net for the Stars. And then newly resurrected captain Mark Stone opened up scoring in the first for the Knights. And then another goal for them from the previous Sharky, Tomas Hertl, Jamie Benn, and Jason Robertson scored for the Stars in the first. So there's a lot of scoring in the first. It was kind of intense. And then in the second, Braden McNabb for the Knights was the only goal scored. And then the only goal scored in the third was from the Stars, Mason Marchment. And 2 penalties for Dallas, 2 for Vegas. No penalties taken in the third. Shots on goal, Vegas 15, 30 Dallas. The final score was 4-3 with the Vegas win. The 3 stars of the game, the first star, Braden McNabb, second, Jack Eichel, third, Jamie Benn. And this was a Stars home game, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Stars started.
Yeah, that sucks. Stars,
yeah,
but
it does.
I
from what I've heard or maybe seen just around the internet, that the Stars have changed their like starting line and they messed with their lines a little bit, which I just like don't understand. I mean, I don't know this for sure, so it's just something I read. But like, why would you mess with something that has gotten you Western Conference champions and like go and mess with that? It just makes no sense to me.
No, I think that's true because I was watching the game last night and I think it was kind of mentioned that I guess they're still doing that. So I was kind of paying attention because I was just nervous watching the game, but I did hear it. He's like, if you could tell, like they're switching lines right now, like so-and-so's here. Because I think Mark Stone was skating with someone different than normal and they were just bringing that up. And I kind of thought the same thing. I was like, why would they do that now? But I guess okay.
I mean, it's clear it's not working. I think they're getting on by the skin of their teeth right now. That's kind of a bummer. I definitely had the Stars sweeping. I think maybe I had the Golden Knights. Now that I think about it, I think maybe I had the Golden Knights winning one. But the Stars were just like dominating this whole season, so it just felt like right to me, like it made sense. But clearly anything I knew just wasn't applicable going forward, and I guess maybe that's something I need to know for next season. Like it doesn't, like I guess on some level it matters how you do during the regular season versus playoffs, but maybe I should just like not have that knowledge at all going in and like making brackets. Which is such a bummer. Yeah, like we sat here and watched games for 6 months. We watched them play and lose and win and whatever, and then it just doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Well, it is a little bit of luck too. But man, Logan Thompson, I'm actually surprised he's not one of the stars in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but when I'm doing these like summaries of each game, it's been something really cool for me to see is that goalies are getting a lot of acknowledgement in these 3 stars, and I feel like that's not necessarily the case during the regular season. Maybe people are just paying more attention during the playoffs when they give things like this out, but it's really cool to see. It's kind of a bummer he wasn't mentioned in this particular game, but goalies in general have been getting a lot more recognition, I feel.
They deserve it.
Oh, 100%. I feel like they're just, especially when they're playing, maybe, I guess I don't really know how some of these teams tandem their goalies, if they do at all. So I don't know if some of these guys are used to playing 3, 4, 5 games in a row. So I feel like, was it the Jets have played Hellebuck every game until today and they finally switched him out after the second period? I'm just like, that's how many games in a row? And I know he's kind of used to that because I watched the Jets, and so like I know that I have that knowledge, but I can't imagine how much like more tired these guys are right now. I don't know. So let's get into this Oilers Kings game. I have a vested interest in this personally because I hate the Kings and I want nothing good for them. Though selfishly, you would think I would want them to win or get further in so I could have more playoff games here in LA, but I just like, that's how deep my hatred is. I'm sorry. We should be unbiased here, but
That's wild.
I feel like, I mean, this is like probably the same for you and the Rangers. Like, imagine you lived in, I mean, I guess maybe if you lived in New York, you wouldn't, I don't know, because you have those other teams nearby. So maybe it's not like, I don't know. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, so the Kings had Cam Talbot in net and Stuart Skinner was in net for the Oilers. There were only 2 goals in the first period, and they were from Oilers' Zach Hyman and Adam Henrique, who used to be an Anaheim Duck but was traded at the deadline. The second period saw 2 Oilers goals as well from Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And then there were 2 goals from the Kings, Mikey Anderson and Adrian Kempe. The third period saw a handful of goals. Leon Draisaitl had the first goal of the third period, and then Zach Hyman netted a hat trick from a McDavid assist. So that was cool for, I think that's the first hat trick of the playoff series. Oilers' own goal from a shot coming from Pierre-Luc Dubois' shot off of Darnell Nurse's skate into their goal. That was kind of crazy to watch, but it really didn't even matter because I feel like the Kings had enough of a like cushion in points. And then Warren Fogle landed an empty netter for the Oilers to end the game. Connor McDavid had a 5-assist night, 2 penalties for the Oilers and 4 for the Kings. The shots on goal were 37 for the Kings and 45 for Edmonton. And then the final score was 4-7 with the Oilers winning. The 3 stars of the game was first for Zach Hyman and his hat trick. The second was Connor McDavid with 5 assists. The third star of the night was Evan Bouchard.
I didn't watch that game, I don't think.
I definitely did because I remember pulling up notes immediately as the own goal happened. I was like, I have to write this down because I don't want to forget. It was insane. So like PLD just shot it in and it skidded off of Darnell's skate and like it was like a triangle and then just hit into the net. And I was just like, oh my God, y'all. This is just embarrassing.
I'd be devastated. I'd be like, are you kidding me?
Own goals are so embarrassing. Like
I know. At
we were
least
at
they
the
came back
Arizona
from it.
game.
Oh
yeah, that's fair.
That was
rough.
So bad. That was the worst own goal I've ever seen.
They were so pissed at each other too. It's like, who do you blame? But it was both of you.
It was both, yeah.
All right, so now we're going to move on to Tuesday, April 23rd, and we're going to start with the Capitals and Rangers.
So Charlie Lindgren was in net for the Caps. Igor Shesterkin was in net for the Rangers. Connor McMichael for the Capitals broke the ice and scored, and it was followed by the Rangers scoring 2 goals from Vincent Trocheck and Mika Zibanejad. The second period followed a similar pattern with the Caps opening scoring from Dylan Strome, but was again followed by 2 goals from the Rangers, Jack Roslovic and Keandre Miller. Tom Wilson's goal for the Caps was the only one in the third period. There was just a lot of penalties. 5 penalties for the Rangers, 6 for the Caps. Shots on goal were 25 Washington, 28 Rangers. Final score, 4-3 with the Rangers win. The 3 stars of the game, first star Mika Zibanejad, second was Vincent Trocheck, and the third was Keandre Miller.
These penalties, I vaguely remember seeing them like roll in on notifications on my phone. I was like, what is going on right now?
I don't know. I kind of had it on, but I wasn't really watching because the game was going exactly how I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these Eastern Conference games are kind of just like happening how everyone kind of thought they were, and they're boring, and it's just like, okay, can we go to the next one? Because especially the Capitals, I think I mean like hockey people as a whole are kind of understanding that the Capitals didn't really deserve to have this spot. I would have much preferred the Flyers.
And they would have thought. I would have liked to
exactly. So kind of just like, all right, this is another game, and now they're done right now. So like, what was it all for? What was the point? The Rangers have a bye week.
I know they won, and I was just like, okay, I think Ashley texted me, and I was like, are we gonna pretend like we're surprised?
No, definitely not. I believe was my response. And then let's see, the Lightning and Panthers is up next, and we have Andrei Vasilevsky in net for the Lightning and Sergei Bobrovsky in net for the Panthers. The Panthers had 2 goals in the first from Sam Bennett and Vladimir Tarasenko, and the Lightning had 2 goals in the second from Braden Point and Steven Stamkos. The goal went into OT, and Carter Verhaeghe had the winning goal for the Panthers. There were 4 penalties for the Lightning and 5 for the Panthers. Shots on goal were 23 for Tampa Bay and 37 for Florida. 3-2 Panthers win. The 3 stars of the game were first for Carter Verhaeghe, the second was Sergei Bobrovsky, and the third was Andrei Vasilevsky. See, both goalies got in there on that 3 stars, and that's kind of the stuff I'm talking about.
Right on. That was the first overtime, right? Yes, it was the first playoff overtime.
Yep. And now I feel like we've had like 4 since.
Yeah,
and like double OT twice. I'm just like, can we not?
I don't like an extra 20 minutes for playoff hockey. overtime. That I'm like, why is it 20 minutes? I remember I complained about this at the beginning when we were discussing it, and I still hate it.
I forgot about it at first because like it's been a year, and I was like, why? And then not even the OT, it's the like intermission in between. And like I get it obviously because they have to go for another 20 minutes. But I'm just like, I'm so tired of listening to TNT. I just like Biz is exhausting. That whole panel of like just men are mean and I'm tired. Can we just get it over with?
I know there was one, I think it was one of the morning games. Maybe was it that day? No, it was a different day. They were just being so giggly and I was just like, wow, this is actually kind of wholesome. But then I immediately regretted saying that because almost immediately they were on some dumb shit. And I was just like, you know what? That's what I get for speaking.
I'd be muting it in between periods. I just like, I don't want to hear you. I'm just gonna do my own thing. I miss like own commentators, their own stuff. Like it's been really nice because John Forsland and Eddie Olczyk, who do commentating for the Kraken, they've been getting to commentate some of these games, and I feel like it's like a warm hug. Like I didn't lose them yet. So it's been nice to hear their voices. All right, so I'm gonna keep going because we're gonna talk about my two favorite teams in this playoff series right now, Avalanche and Jets. So Connor Hellebuyck is once again in net for the Jets, and Georgiev was in net for the Avs. The first period only saw one goal, and it was from David Gustafsson from the Jets. Second period definitely saw more scoring, and there are 4 goals for the Avs from Miles Wood, Arturi Lehkonen, Zach Praise, and Josh Manson. There was 1 goal from the Jets from Mark Scheifele. Valerie Nichushkin had an empty netter for the Avs in the third period. So there were 3 penalties for both the Avs and the Jets. A pretty chill-ish game if I remember right. Shots on goal was 32 for Colorado and 30 for Winnipeg. Avalanche won 5-2. 3 stars of the game were Arturi Lehkonen, the second was Mark Scheifele, and the third was Josh Manson. So this was the second game in Winnipeg, and then going forward, they'll be in Denver for those 2 games that we'll chat about next time.
Yeah, I do remember this being a chill game.
Yeah, I definitely
compared to the next 2.
Right. Yeah, there's so much has happened between these 2 teams, and I know I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. Like I feel like these 2 are so even matched. And it's kind of interesting now these last couple of games to see how much Georgiev is really like stepping up. And I don't know, it's kind of crazy to see. Like I feel like he's maybe settling in, which is scary for the sense that like maybe he's gonna overplay himself. But then Connor Hellebuyck, I gotta wonder about his like mentality and going. They were like rated super high during the regular season because of his goaltending, and so I don't know if he's just tired and he needs to chill, and they need to put Brossoit in the net for a little bit, which obviously I was very excited for today. I don't think anything got past him, which was nice.
Yeah, I personally think they put him in too late, but we'll discuss that.
Yeah, totally agree. But yeah, this series is really gonna shorten my lifespan. I'm gonna take my blood pressure, my heart rate next time their games are happening because I'm sure it's pretty rough. But yeah. Let's chat about this Predators Canucks game.
This game frustrated me. The Canucks anyway. So Juuso Saros was in net for the Predators. Casey DeSmith was in net for the Canucks because we got the bomb dropped on us that Demko was out. He is currently week to week.
But there's been rumors he may be out for the whole series. There's lots of stuff I think being said about Demko, and it's kind of heartbreaking, right? Because this is his first playoff series. Yeah. Anyway, he's not here for a little bit.
So Demko is once again out week to week. First period only saw 1 goal from Anthony Beauvillier for the Predators. Was very happy for him. The second period saw 2 more goals for the Predators from Philip Forsberg and Colton Sissons, and 1 goal for the Canucks from Nikita Zadorov. There was only 1 goal in the third period, and it was from Kiefer Sherwood for the Preds, and that was on an empty net. There was 2 penalties for the Predators and 4 for the Canucks. Shots on goal: 16 Nashville, 18 Vancouver. The final score 4-1 Predators. 3 stars of the game: first Philip Forsberg, second Alexander Carrier, and then Nikita Zadorov. That game, I do remember. I was so frustrated watching this game because I was like,
shooting game.
It was low shooting. They were just kind of like going back and forth. It was like just like a high defense game, but I don't know, it just made it boring. Like they weren't rushing each other, and I was like, does anybody please score, shoot? I don't know, anything.
I would be so bored watching that. Like if I paid to be there, I would be kind of mad. Can you all do something? Like, hello?
Yeah, I would definitely be screaming. I mean, you know me, I definitely agree. We both yell.
I'm definitely getting more bold the more games I go to. This playoff game I went to on Friday, I was very mouthy, and I
That's
never been
scary,
like
and
that.
like that, especially like technically, because what, you were in Oilers
Yeah,
here
technically, yeah.
in LA territory, like that is bold. Like if you're home and you're talking mess,
Yeah.
that's safe.
Yeah. Well, they were talking crap, and I was just tired of it. And I was like, okay, by the time we got to 6-1, I was like, I'll let you guys have these because it doesn't matter. Anyway, we've got another Leafs Bruins game. They put Jeremy Swayman back in net, and I don't know if it's just because I guess everyone keeps saying that Swayman is in the Leafs' heads. It's like a mental thing now. So
this was on the 24th. Yeah,
the 24th. Oh, well, then it's not just covering 2 days; it's covering more.
We did get the Wednesday. I was like, I swore you texted me. Yeah,
that's true. I did.
So we did make it. Well, Ashley made it to making notes for Wednesday.
I do be taking this to work with me and working on my lunch break, but it's like fun, and people are like, "Oh, what are you working on?" I'm just like, "Hockey." Like, what do you do? And I have a podcast. Anyway, Ilya Samsonov was in net for the Leafs, so Nylander was still out with an undisclosed injury. I watched an interview with him. I think it was earlier today, where he's been back since, and he just does not want to talk about it. And he's like, I don't know. I didn't really like his attitude and the way he was talking about it, but maybe I'll send you a link and see your thoughts because I kind of want to know.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
yeah, I'll send it to you. So there were no goals in the first period, and then Matthew Nyes broke the ice in the second period and scored for the Leafs. Trent Frederick also scored in the second for the Bruins, and then the third period saw some more action with 1 goal from the Leafs from Tyler Bertuzzi, and then there were 3 goals from Boston, 1 from Jake DeBrusk, and then 2 from Brad Marchand. Toronto saw 3 penalties and Boston saw 5. Shots on goal were Boston 34 and Toronto 30.
It was 4-2.
Final score is 4-2 with the Bruins winning. The 3 stars of the game were Jeremy Swayman, second Brad Marchand, and the third was Ilya Samsonov, and another goalie star. So that's pretty cool. I didn't really watch this game. I think I have a problem with watching games when they start at 4 and I'm still at work till like 5-ish, 5:30 until I get home. So kind of makes it difficult, and it's really hard for me to like want to do anything after work too. So I don't really want to turn on a game and sit in bed.
Yeah, I was out of the house. I missed this one.
Yeah, I feel like some of these games are kind of hard to catch. Like today it was weird because there were 2 Western Conference games in the daytime, and then the 2 Eastern Conference games are happening right now. Well, not 2. Sorry, the Rangers Caps was today at like 5, which was like 8 their time, which was kind of wild to me, but I guess you kind of just have to work with maybe what the arena needs. I don't know how that works. An 8 o'clock game just feels kind of wild. Like 7:30 here, I feel like is late too sometimes for people. So
yeah, I'm not a fan of having to get to an arena late. Like it's weird. Like I like having all day before game, but I don't like getting out so late.
Yeah, especially in these games where they can go into 20-minute overtime, which I guess is maybe what happened last year against the Lightning Panthers when I went to like, was it 7 OTs or whatever?
I remember I was up so late. I was just like falling asleep and they were still going, and I'm like, oh my God.
That's insane. And no, hard pass.
I think that was like my first like real intro into like staying up and like watching the OT games, and I was just like, well, this is being nuts. But I
definitely a choice. All right, let's shout out the Stars Golden Knights game. This is their second meeting, right?
Mm-hmm. Also at Dallas home too. Logan Thompson was in net for the Golden Knights. Jake Ottinger was in net for the Stars again. Jason Robertson for Dallas opened up scoring in the first period, and then Vegas also got a goal, and it was from Jonathan Marchessault. In the second, Noah Hanifin scored for Vegas, and Jack Eichel also scored. No, Noah Hanifin was the only goal in the second, and then Jack Eichel scored in the third on an empty net. There was 3 penalties for Dallas and 3 for Vegas. The shots on goal were 26 Vegas, 21 Dallas. The final score 3-1 with the Vegas win. The 3 stars of the game were Logan Thompson. He finally got his flowers. Noah Hanifin, and then Jake Ottinger, which is rightfully so. He did so much work and they left him hanging.
Right.
I was, again, frustrated watching that game, but then as I was online, people were like, apparently last season there was kind of like the Dallas Stars were like an underdog of some sort. So I guess people are like, no, we're expecting too much of them to be Vegas. Like maybe we need to like knock them down some steps. And apparently it worked because the next game was crazy.
Yeah, that game, was it last night? It was just on another level.
Yeah,
I was definitely watching it while I was out and about, and I was like, oh no, Dallas scored. Oh no, Vegas scored. So I'm excited to chat about that one.
This game, I remember that Marchessault goal. It was I saw it happening because Marchessault zoom in, and I just knew it was coming. And yeah, he got the goal. It was just clear as day. And then, yeah, the Golden Knights are really good when the opposite team has an empty net.
But
yeah, they're really good when the opposite team has empty net, and just makes me so nervous every time. Good for them, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, I love this positive talk for them because you won't hear it from me.
I wouldn't say it's positive. It's literally, it's just just a clear observation. Yeah, it's an observation that I've seen all season.
So don't miss me. I'm not giving them compliments.
I just make observations, and I'm just saying observations that I'm seeing.
That's fair. I mean, I guess that's what we're here to do, right? Just speak facts.
Yeah.
With opinions sprinkled in.
But yeah, that one, I felt bad for the Stars fans at like the 2 home games starting it off, and it was a loss. Rough, but I mean, hey, you made it to a playoff game.
That's so true. I mean, I said it earlier, but just they were doing so well this whole season, and it's such a bummer to kind of see this happening. Like I said, I think last episode, I have them winning in my bracket. So
for the sake of our brackets, Dallas, get it together.
Step up, just for us, just for the sake of the bracket.
Come on now.
Okay, so the last game we're going to chat about is the Oilers versus Kings. So this is the last home game in Edmonton. So the Kings had Cam Talbot in net again, and then Stuart Skinner also again for the Oilers. Adrian Kempe started off hot for the Kings, scoring the first 2 goals in the first period. Brett Kulak scored 1 for the Oilers, and another Kings goal, this time from Drew Doughty, ended the period. Second period only had 2 goals. Oilers coming from Dylan Holloway, and then another Oilers goal from Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman's just kind of been on a hot streak this whole season, which is really cool to see.
I found out he's been on a heater. Yeah,
I found out earlier today that the Leafs used to have him, and then they traded him away. And I feel like the Leafs just keep cutting their nose off. Yeah,
damn,
embarrassing for them. Anyway, so the third period had goals from Kevin Fiala for the Kings and another Oilers goal from Dylan Holloway. The game then went into OT with Anze Kopitar scoring for the Kings and winning the game. There were 3 penalties for the Oilers and 3 for the Kings. Shots on goal were 26 for the Kings and 31 for Edmonton. The final score was 5-4 with the Kings winning. 3 stars of the game were Adrian Kempe first, second Dylan Holloway, and third Anze Kopitar. Yeah, that OT, I feel like it only went in maybe like 5 or 6 minutes before he scored, and I just like saw it coming and knew it was going to happen. Such a bummer. That momentum did not carry them into the next game.
No, it did not. I know, because I'm like, this game, I saw the score go pretty back and forth, and this kind of back and forth is what I expected from these teams. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is.
For sure.
But yeah, the game you went to, I was like, what?
Hello. I think I told my friend that I ended up going with that it felt like the Kings game that I saw against the Blackhawks, where they were intentionally trying to lose, but this wasn't on purpose. Like the passes weren't making it. It was just really messy. Anyway, we have both said, we'll chat about that next episode and we'll get all caught up. So much hockey happening. Got the last game of the day happening right now. It's also another Oilers-Kings game. It's the last one in LA before they head back up to Edmonton. 0-0 in the second right now, so nothing too exciting happening, but we'll keep you updated later this week on this game.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to talk about today's games.
Yeah, same. Okay, I think that's all. Arielle, where can the people find you?
People can find me on TikTok and Instagram at It's Arielle Garcia, ITSARIELLE Garcia, and then on Twitter at Arielle Garcia. And you, Ashley?
If the people want to find me, I am on Twitter at AENEWBY. Also the same on Instagram. I am Knives Are Out on TikTok. And then I do photography. It's ANEWBY photo, I think, on Instagram. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media at Rink Rookie Pod. That's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, also known as X. You can like, comment, subscribe, tell all your friends. Let us know how you're liking these games. I like the comments that we've been getting every once in a while. They're just like, hey, did you guys see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? So that's been pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I really like that engagement. It's fun.
Until next time, which will hopefully just be in a couple days, we will see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.